Lexi Alfaro, BAC Provisional Member. All the BAC Technical Working Group headed by Engineer Ron Realty Abakahin, to the BAC Secretariat headed by Maria Irma F. Oti, invited observers, prospective leaders, to all the viewers watching over the YouTube account of the Bids and Awards Committee of Zamboanga del Norte 2nd District Engineering Office. Good morning. We would like to request IBAC Secretariat to have a roll call and read the agenda of today's procurement activity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Members of DPWH, BAC Secretariats, and observers. Today, April 1, 2024, we have 3 projects to be reviewed today, namely Contract ID number 24JC0037 republished Road Widening-Dipolog-Sindangan-Liloy Road K1892 plus 5312 K1983 plus 892 with a approved budget for a contract of 58,223,275 pesos. Second, contract ID number 24JZ0050, construction of rainwater collector system, RWCS, rainwater collectors in public facilities, with the ABC amount of 2,895 pesos. Plus, contract ID number 24JZ0051, construction of multi-purpose building facility, Polo City, Zamboanga del Norte, with the ABC amount of 9,900,000 pesos. Before we proceed, please be acknowledged as I call your name. First, Engineer Charity D. Religiosa, BAC Chairperson.
Present.
Engineer Lucin Chubi S. Chuterena, BAC Vice Chairman.
Present.
Engineer L.D. Dexity Alfaro, BAC Member. With Engineer Tereseta C. Liena, BAC Member. Engineer Almarcia Acevedo, BAC Member.
Present.
And with our BAC Head DWG, Engineer Ronald P. Abakahi.
Present.
With the BAC DWG members, namely Engineer Janice Eastormet,
Present.
Miss Architect Rosquito R. Bongkasan, Engineer Rolly J. B. Bacara,
Present.
with our PDS designer, Engineer John Roger O. Lobo,
Present.
with our BAC head secretariats headed by Engineer Ma Irma F. Uti, with the BAC secretariats members, Rochelle Victor Sola, Engineer Christine Lu Sumilang, and yours truly, Rhea May Caballo. Madam Chair, the present members of the forum will now proceed to our previous conference.
Thank you, Ms. Leah, BAC Secretariat Member. The present BAC members constitute a quorum. I would like to call today's pre-bid conference to order. May we request a resource person from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Ronil Abakahin, the head of the Highway Design Unit, to present to us the basic contract data of contract ID 24JC0037.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For our pre-bid conference today, we have 3 projects to be bid out. So these are the following projects. Contract IDs 24JC0037, which is a republish, 24JC0050, and 24JC0051. So for 24JC0037, it is a road widening Dipolog-Sindangan-Liloy Road 1892, 531 to 1893, 892.
No.
Location of the project is at Occidental Zamboanga del Norte with an ABC of 58,223,275 and a duration of 225 calendar days. For the 24JC0050, construction of rainwater collector system, rainwater collectors in public facilities. So the locations are as follows. This is a clustered project. So the locations are as followed at Dipolog City, municipalities of Katipunan, Manukan, Estelman, and Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte, with a total amount or total ABC of 2,895,000 and a duration of 210 calendar days. For 24JG0051, construction of multi-purpose building facility, Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte. Dipolog City, location of the projects, Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte, with an ABC of 9,900,000 and a duration of 160 calendar days. For the first project, we have here road widening, Dipolog-Sindangan-Liloy Road, 1892, 531 to 1893, 891. Sorry, there's a technical problem. So we have here road widening, Dipolog-Sindangan-Liloy Road, 1892 to 531 to 1893, 892. So this is the location map of the project. So the beginning of project is at abutment B of yeah, Punot Punot Tapo siguro siya. Punot Tapo. To 1890 to 531. So for the typical section, we have here the typical section. We have a road widening of minimum of 3.35 meters. So all in all, for 2 lanes, it will be 6.7. So for 4 lanes, it is 13.4 meters with a bike lane of 1.5 and then a shoulder of 2.5 meters. Okay, one ko naman. So for the PCCP, we will be using 280 mm thick PCCP. For the transverse bars, we will be using 36 mm by 600 mm double bars. And for the longitudinal bars, we'll be using 16 mm deformed tie bars, 600 mm in length. For the bike lane, it will be 230 mm in thickness. With that, we will be using 28 mm by 600 mm double bars, plain bar. And the same with the tie bar, we'll be using 16 mm diameter deformed tie bar by 16 mm by 600 mm space at 50 meters on center. For the sub base, so all sub base are 300 mm in thickness. And then for our shoulder, we'll be using item 301 of 150 mm thick of gravel surface course. There are also provisions for construction of roadstone protections, grouted ripraps, Class B, and then retaining walls. Now, just can you see the schedules of these structures, including the drainage structures, inlet and outlet, head walls, catch basins, and others, inlet and outlet structures. Also, there is a provision of installation or of pavement markings, uh, and then including the white and yellow pavement markings. And of course, for this project, there should be a traffic management. So this is the typical layout for the traffic management. So for the next project, for the detailed discussion of the next project, I will call Engineer John Roger Logo for 24JC 0050.
Before we will give the floor to Engineer Logo, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Ma'am Manji Patangan, invited observers from the Commission on Audit. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So for the next project, we have scope of work is a 10-unit rainwater collector system. 10 units at different location. For the first location, we have at the Santo Niño Elementary School, Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte. Second is at Santo Niño Barangay Hall. So at their side, this is their corresponding calendar days and the appropriation amount. So for the third location, we have at the Doroteo Noval Elementary School, South District, South Sindangan District, Mandi, Sindangan, Zamboanga del Norte. For the fourth location at Marupay Elementary School, Sedalman. And the fifth location at Lupasang Elementary School, Manukan. The sixth is at San Jose Elementary School, Dipolog City. Then for the seventh, at Lauy Ulingan Elementary School, Dipolog City. Next is Miputak National High School, Dipolog City. Then the ninth is Sanao Barangay Hall, Katipunan, Zamboanga del Norte. Lastly, at Sindangan National High School. Sindangan, Sikayab National High School, Dipolog City. So that's for their individual. So for the typical details of the rainwater collector. So for the location, so for the location, malana na sila kay kon. So, going. So proceed to the one. This is the yes sir. The same concrete ni siya sir. This is the perspective view of the typical rainwater collector system. So with the DPWH color scheme. So we added for the DPWH color scheme, we added a engraved information. So DPWH ZDN second DEO RWCS 2024, then year, date completed.
Sa top na ito
Sa kuan sir. Kaning sa iyang supply line sir para makita. Isa. So for the typical plan, we have here the roof slope. So we'll be collecting the rainwater. So we have a repainted gutter with screen on top for the then the downspout, the supply line, an air relief vent with insect screen, and a manhole, an overflow pipe with louvered outlet for insect prevention. Then we have the clean out pipe. So the elevation. So this is the elevation. So we have here the repainted gutter and downspout, air relief vent, and the overflow pipe, and the engraved information and the supply line, the clean out pipe for maintenance, manhole, overflow pipe, and this is a concrete rainwater collector plain cement plaster finish, painted finish with the DPWH color scheme. So for its cross section, so we just refer to the typical rainwater collector system section detail for the sizes of the pipes and other fixtures used. So for its structural detail, for its foundation, we'll be using 16 millimeters radial bars spaced at 300 mm center, measured outside. Then for its walls, from at the bottom, we have a thickness of 200 millimeters thickness. Then at the top, sa rainwater storage, we have a 150 millimeters thickness. Then the bottom slab, we have a 200 millimeter thickness of bottom slab, then the mid slab of 150, then the suspended top slab of 100 mm. So for its reinforcement details, just refer to the reinforcement details here. So we'll be using grade 40 for all bar sizes. So for the typical detail of the specific section, just refer to the plan. So we have two barangay hall locations at the Santo Niño and at the Sanao, Katipunan. So sa existing sa site, we don't have a fascia frame. So we'll be adding fascia frames on the both locations. So for the fascia detail, just refer to the plan. So I think that's all for the rainwater collector system.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Logos. So to continue with our discussion, we would like to request Architect Cristito Bungkasan, from the Planning and Design section, the
I discussed the next project. Can I clarify something regarding to the water project? Madam Chair?
after your presentation, sir. We will discuss all the basic contract data of the contract ID 24JZ0037, 24JZ0050, and then 51, and then we will move on to discussion open forum.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
We have only one project to design and to screen road and arrow. So project is construction of multiple facility. The proceed is Norte with the amount of 10 million. Before I continue, Madam Chair, I would like to because I remember or recall that last year, fiscal year 2023, annual infrastructure program based on approved fiscal year 2023 in Appropriation Act, DEO, Republic Act 11-93-6, that this listing, there were 4 projects including in this listing, Madam Chair. That four project comprised or composed only one building, and that is our ongoing legislative building. So one of that project is the 15 million. Then we have 20 million and another 20 million. Then the last one is 15 million. But unfortunately, the 15 million was gone or nawala siya ba. But fortunately, this year 2024, there is an additional project, and that is the construction of a multi-purpose facility in the city with 10 million. Then maybe let us say in lieu sa atong 15 million nga nawala. So this 10 million is at our chief section engineer Liusa coordinate with this to the city Mayor Darrell Oy, and Mayor Darrell Oy agree and approve that this 10 million be a part of the legislative building. So this is the perspective. Then kindly engineer sa atuang floor plan. So before kaning part sa 10 million is the 15 million. So nawala man to. So muna ito ang gamit sa atong 10 million kaning part sa atuang using. That is the basement plan. Then ground floor plan, and there are so ang atong ground floor plan part sa atuang section wall. Then we have the exit stair and so forth. And then second floor, there are so second floor natay part sa atong atrium nga open na siya down to sa atuang section wall. Then we have the stair kaning exit stair nato. Then we have also the toilet for female toilet. The next direct to the elevation there are so muna ito ang elevation sa ito ang 10 million from elevation to maklaro nato dito sa scope of work on unsa kayo ang ato ang 10 million. So let us proceed to our scope of work or the program of work na ato ang project. Okay, there are so scope of work nato, structure excavation, covering fill, structural concrete, from coating, then to the beam, rock beam, then all of the plumbing works and electrical works are rock in only. So as we imagine from basement foundation, the basements up to roofing, mountain na includes atong 10 million. Ang iyalang structural concrete niya, including sa atong roofing. So I think the details for the plan and design and also the details of our scope of work program works will be discussed sa atuang pre-construction conference, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Or that's all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Architect Bukasan. And now moving forward, we would like to request the head of the BAC Technical Working Group, Engineer Ronville Abakahin, for the presentation of the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contracts to be bid.
Okay, for the continuation of the discussion. So we have here the eligibility requirements. So first is the registration in the civil works application. So the contractor is encouraged to register for those who are not yet registered in the civil works application for the electronic eligibility checking. So they can register anytime at the procurement service of the DPWH. So for the pickup license, we have here the following requirement, minimum requirement for ID 37, medium A, and for 50 and 51, small b. And these are the classifications. So for 37, general engineering, GE1 road, and then for 50, general engineering, GE4, water supply, and for 24 JC0051, general building, GB1, building. So for the technical components, these are the documents. Technical component envelopes are the documents for the legal. These are the legal documents. The first one is a valid and updated field jobs registration. So no need to submit the following documents if the field jobs is already submitted. No registration certificate from DTI, SEC, or from TCDA. Mayor's business permit, tax clearance, pickup license, and audited financial statement. But make sure that all these documents as reflected in the field job must be updated. For joint venture, so each part of the joint venture shall submit their respective field job registration certificate. Another document, the technical documents, for those bidders who are not yet registered or wishes to update their profile in CWA may wish to submit the statement of respective bidders of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including awarded but not yet started. You will be using Annex O of CCASI, and these are the following documents needed as supporting documents. Another document is the statement of bidder's single largest completed contract. So this document will be submitted for those who are not yet registered in CWA or those who are registered but not yet or wishes to update their profile. For this document, you will be using Annex N of GCASI with the following documents as supporting documents. Okay, as you can see in this screen. Okay. So take note that a bidder will only be eligible if it had done a single largest completed contract containing a category or categories of work which is the same or similar to the major categories of work and whose values adjusted to current prices using PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC. So the SLCC must be at least 50% of the ABC. However, for contractors under small a and small b, without similar experience on the contract to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the ARCC or allowable range of contract cost of their respective pickup license. So for the major and similar categories of work, so these are the major and similar categories of work per contract. So we have here contractor ID 37 and 50. So we have here the categories where major category and then the similar category. So each bidder should have at least 50% of these major and similar categories of work. For 51, so it is a BICW PLC or building construction without ties, low rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. So these are the similar categories of work. Okay. So you can refer DO 117 series of 2017. So another document is the special pickup license. This will only be submitted in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid, no, for special pickup license. Another document is the original copy of the bid security. We have different forms of bid security, and these are their minimum amount required, no. Just refer to the screen as shown. So these are the prescribed forms for each of the different forms of bid security. Remember that bid security should have a validity of 120 calendar days from the opening of bids. Then a change in the form of bid security is allowed if this is made prior to the expiration of the bid validity, so to be extended. And if the bidder refuses to extend their validity, the BAC will automatically reject their bid. However, they will not be forfeited with their bid security. So another document under the project requirement is the organizational chart using form number 13 of the DPWH infra forms. Okay. So with this document, and the following document should also be submitted. Their curriculum vitae of each personnel, notarized affidavit of commitment to work, a photocopy of their PRC license, and photocopy of their valid certificate of accreditation and or training. So the minimum required personnel, the key personnel are the following. For all projects, we are requiring one project manager, one project engineer, one materials engineer, one safety officer, one first aider, and one foreman. So these are the minimum required experience and similar experience and total experience. For ME1, we are requiring accredited materials engineer 1. But make sure that particular person should not go beyond the limits of assignment as per DO 980 sa 2016. For safety officer 1, you are requiring duly accredited safety officer, and same with first aider. He or she should be a duly accredited first aider. Now remember, the following personnel should not be pledged to other contracts except for materials engineer which has a limit of assignment. No? So, dili sa pwede magbalik-balik. These are the limits of assignment for ME1, as you can see in the screen. One project, not more than 1 MM, 2 project, not more than the aggregate cost of 250, and 3 projects, not more than the aggregate cost of 200 million. Okay. So for safety officer, it must have undergone a mandatory 40-hour basic construction and occupational safety program. So another document is the list of contractors' major construction and materials testing equipment. So it can be categorized into 3. It may be owned, leased, or under purchase agreement. So for each classification or each type of equipment, the bidder should attach for own a copy of sales invoice, deed of sales, certificate of ownership, and or registration certificate from LTO to prove the ownership of such equipment. For leased equipment or for equipment under lease, no need to attach lease agreement. Only a certification from the lessor that the equipment unit shall be available for the contract once it will be awarded. And for purchase agreements, certification from the vendor that the equipment unit shall be available for the contract once awarded. So we'll be using form number 15. Okay. So these are the minimum required equipment for the following projects for ID 37, 50, and 51. So you can refer to the bidding documents for the specifics. However, for the material testing equipment, for the minimum material testing equipment, just refer to DO number 11 series of 2017. So unlike the major construction equipment, the minimum material testing equipment is per contractor, meaning it can be used to other projects, several ongoing projects, as long as it passes the minimum required equipments listed in DO 11 series of 2017. Okay. Remember also that the bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where it can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location during post-qualification, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Okay. And the last document for technical proposal is the omnibus word statement using form number 16. The latest OSS is already composed of 10 statements. Additional document for this specific document, supporting document, is an original notarized secretary for secretary certificate only for corporation, partnership, or cooperative to make sure that the one signing the OSS is a legitimate or the authorized uh, personnel na representing the corporation, the partnership, or the cooperative. For joint venture, original power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority of each officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. Okay? But for sole proprietorship, no need to attach such document. Okay? And as for financial documents na, we have here the NFCC. So NFCC is calculated using the following formula. Current asset minus current liabilities times 15 minus the value of all outstanding and uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts not yet to be started coinciding with the contract to be bid. So the current asset and current liabilities should be based uh, on the PhilGIPS registration certificate, no? Because it will be indicated in that document. For joint venture, we have here the Class B document for the joint venture. Duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRI in case the joint venture is already in existence, or a duly notarized statement from all potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the GBA in the instance of the bid is successful. No? Additional document is that are the following. No? Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective PhilGIPS certificate of registration. But the submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture constitute compliance. So isa lang, no, ang submit any of the joint venture partners. Okay. For financial component envelope, so the second envelope, we have here the different documents. The first one is the financial bid form using form number 9. Remember to sign each and every page of the bid form. If a discount is offered, it should be signed if the discount is handwritten and the document is printed. Okay. We should also specify that all the taxes reflected in the detailed estimates under item E of the bid form. So these are the different performance security which should be reflected in item G of the bid form. No? Depending of the form of the bid security, napo na siya corresponding amount. Next document is the bill of quantities using form number 17 and form number 18. So tuwan is a document, form number 17 which is the BOQ itself, and form number 18 which is the bid price summary. Okay? For form number 17, the bidder should indicate the subtotal for each page in the bill of quantities. And then failure to sign each and every page of the bill of quantities and bid price summary shall be ground to the rejection of each. So each and every page should be signed. Third document is the detailed estimate. No particular form. It depends on the contractor or how he present the estimate, no? How he derive the detailed estimate of each item. But the contractor or the bidder shall include a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. Okay. And then the last one, cash flow by quarter using form number 19. Remember that the cash flow should be based on the duration of the procurement project. So not necessarily that all quarters will be filled out, no? Depends on the duration. For the format, sealing, and marking of bids, so the original copy of the bid as indicated in the bid data sheet shall be typed or written in indelible ink and shall be signed by the bidder or person or persons duly authorized to bind the bid bidder to the contract. It shall be printed in A4 size paper and binded. Each type of document shall have a tab number, and then prescribed forms shall be completed without alterations to their format, and no substitute form shall be accepted. Any interlineation, erasures, alterations, or rewriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the person signing the bid. So the bidder shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the forms specified in the bidding documents in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes or 2 password-protected bidding documents in compressed archive forms in case of electronic bid submission, and which shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical component of the bid, including the eligibility requirements, and the second shall contain the financial component of the bid. Bid shall be received by the BAC on the date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid paragraph, and then bid submitted submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted by the BAC. Okay. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic bid submission, bidding documents not in compressed archive folders and not password protected shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed or marked or not properly compressed or password protected as required in the bidding document shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC shall assume no responsibility of the misplacement of the contents or of the improperly sealed or marked bid or improperly compressed or password protected folder for its premature opening. So in the event of any discrepancies between the original and the copies, the original shall prevail. Okay? So the bidder shall submit one original of the technical component and one original of the financial component, and then it should be enclosed in one sealed envelope marked original technical component and for the original financial component. And both envelopes shall then be sealed in an outer envelope marked original bid. So indicate uh, the following information: contract ID, name of the contractor, name and address of the bidder, name and address of the procuring entity, and a warning: do not open before bid opening. Okay. Aside from the original copy, the bidder shall also submit 4 copies of the technical and financial components to the bid. Enclose each copy of the eligibility and technical document in one sealed envelope marked copy number, technical component, and for confidential is copy number, financial component. And then both envelopes shall be then sealed in an outer envelope marked copy of original bid. And the following document or the following information shall then be reflected in the outer envelope. So basically, this is how the bid should be arranged. Natay eligibility and technical document for the original, butang na siya gusa ka envelope sealed. Then ang financial sealed. And then ibutang din na siya og usa ka outer envelope na po dayon. Then mark original bid. Okay? For the copies, the same. Eligibility and technical document, butang 1 envelope. And then financial document, butang 1 envelope. Then iipon na po na siya into 1 outer envelope for each copy. So all in all, there would be 5 envelopes, 5 main envelopes, 1 for original and 4 for the copies. Okay? And then the following information shall then be reflected in the outer envelopes. Okay? So, katong main na pud nga envelope, ibutang na pud dito siya og pinaka-main nga envelope. So, natay original bid, and then the 4 copies, then ibutang na siya main envelope, and then the following information shall then be reflected in the main envelope. So, therefore, the contractor should only be submitting 1 envelope. So, for the little bit evaluation, So for the completeness of bid, so bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bill of quantity shall be considered non-responsive and therefore shall be automatically disqualified. And where a required item is provided but no price indicated, it shall be considered non-responsive. However, if the bidder specifies a zero or a dash, then it would mean it would be offered to the government for free. Okay? For arithmetical corrections, bid price in figures versus in words, bid price in figures shall prevail. Total price per item and unit price versus unit price for the item multiplied by the quantity of that item, the later shall survive. So, shall prevail. So, meaning unit price for the item multiplied by the quantity of that item shall prevail. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the later shall prevail. And unit price in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the unit cost of the bill of quantities shall prevail. Discrepancy between the original and the copies, the original shall prevail. So I guess that's all, Madam Chair, for the discussion of the documentary requirements for the bill.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Abakahin, the head of the BAC Technical Working Group. Okay, the floor is now open for questions and clarifications. Architect Buntasan, sir, you are now acknowledged.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have only two clarifications regarding the public qualifier. So my first clarification is with regards to the pipe to be used and going down to the reservoir. So as we know that there are different types of building. We have cover court, we have school building, then barangay hall. But as I see sa tuwang details sa reservoir, the intake pipe is only 2 inches. Sakto, so 5 lang, spout niya.
3 inches sir.
Ha?
3.
3 inches.
Yes sir.
Sa tuwang kanang cover court, we are using 4 inches downspout. Kaya dako mag-area na siya. So, usa lamang ka downspout na itong gamiton. So, ang 4 inches na downspout is suitable for cover court. So, not dili, kaning 3 inches, mo kuwang gina siya, mo suwag gina siya. So, okay lang tong kuan ato ang school building kay dagdaman po tong downspout pero ang 2 inches is enough sa ato ang school building. Totally mga 1 story lang at building, 2 inches ka pipe is enough. But for cover court, so I suggest na dili lang kay 3 inches atong level, 3 to 4 ano. 3 to 4. That is only my suggestion. Second is the calendar days. As we notice, there are 10 allocations, 10 locations at 21 calendar days. Each location of project. And total of calendar days is 210. That is 7 months for this kind of project. Dili man is kayong mga residue kayo kay that is only sa ang ground. Reservoir. Before mga doon natin cluster nga mga project, dili man to siya reservoir, pero mas lisod to siya na natay cover court, natay mga barangay hall, so i-cluster to siya. So in this kind of program, meaning this is done one by one. So how about i-cluster na itong type to minimize the number of calendar days? So, ang tungkol na to, ako lang ikuan. Ani ka as medical ani nga tulo ba o dua ba na, ikuan na to 21 days. Almost certain ang iyang number of calendars.
Per municipal na lang siya, sir.
Pwede po, pwede. Para sa nga Dipolog, Dipolog naman siya, di man nga dugot, pero Dipolog, usawa na siya. Kay, ang Dipolog, gikuha na to nga, ang double nga project, kung by municipality, gikuha na siya, marami class din na itong trabaho. Dili kay, trabaho na to sa usa, pagkauman, trabaho na to sa usa. So kung buwan na to ang atong time frame ato ang kunon nga advantage sa ato ang gobyerno. Kay gamor nga atong calendar days nga longer, so ang atong project is very small. Kamay na kaya itong project is that is 2.8 reservoir and collector. So yan. So I think this Madam Chair nga atong isorte na ato ang
Okay, noted. Architect Kungkasan, the planning and design section will look into it. The project duration and the size of the pipes. Okay, more questions? So if there's none, may we request Box Secretariat to read the date, time, and place of the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids and opening of bids.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the opening of bids for contract ID number 24JC0037, Republish Road Widening-Dipolog-Sindangan-Liloy Road, K1892 plus 531 plus K1983 plus 892. Contract ID number 24JC0050, construction of rainwater collector system, rainwater collectors in public facilities, and contract ID number 24JC0051, construction of multipurpose building facility, Dipolog-Sindangan Zamboanga del Norte, will be on April 12, 2024 at DPWH 2nd DEO, Santa Isabel, Dipolog City Bank Office, not later than 10 p.m. That's all, Madam.
Okay, since all the agenda at hand are already discussed and presented, any motion for adjournment?
second motion.
It has been moved and seconded. Today's pre-bid conference is